Hello everybody, this is N64 by 44, and today I'm going to be showing you part 1 of my NES collection. So let's get started. This is actually one of my favorite games for the NES, and I actually just got it recently. Battletoads. Um, I played it on the Sega Genesis before, so I knew what to expect with this one, but it's still an awesome game for the NES nonetheless. And it's one of my favorite games on the NES as well. It was one of the first games that Rareware ever made too, which I'm pretty happy about. Um, and I got it for 13 bucks. It was a really good deal. Anyway, I definitely recommend this game if you can pick it up for cheap. And next, this is one of the best sports games that I've played. Blades of Steel. Yeah, it's a hockey game and everything, but the controls on it are so good. And there's no real players on the team, so it's kind of like an exaggerated game of hockey, kind of like how NFL Blitz is an exaggerated version of football, and NBA what's NBA Jam is an exaggerated version of basketball. Yeah. Anyway, this is an awesome sports game. You can probably find it for pretty cheap on the internet and in shops nowadays. So I'd recommend picking it up. Um, it's a good game to add to your NES collection. And next, um, Donkey Kong Classics. This is actually a compilation of two games that were released on the NES before this that were also classic arcade games, and those are Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. If you like both those arcade games, I definitely recommend picking this one up because they're the closest versions to the arcade one that you can get nowadays. Besides actually playing the arcade versions. But yeah, awesome compilation. They're also available separately if you're looking for them. And so yeah, awesome. Next, um, Metal Gear. This game started a big franchise that's been going on for quite a while now. Um, it's a pretty good game, I guess. For being the first game in the series, it's pretty good. Um, I don't really have too much to say about it though, because I never really make it that far in it, because there's not really any continue points in the game that I've made it to so far. Um, and it's a really hard game also. And yeah, if you're a fan of the Metal Gear series, then I'd recommend picking this one up if you haven't already. It's a pretty good game. Next, um, Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3. Both these games are two of the best games that I've played on the NES. Now, Mega Man 3 doesn't have a label because that's the way I got it. I got it for pretty cheap. But Mega Man, both games actually, they have really good music. Some of the best music ever on the NES. But if you play Mega Man, you pretty much know what to expect with this game. I mean, with these games. Yeah, awesome games. Some of the best ones you can pick up for the NES. They're both awesome. Next, Operation Wolf. This is kind of like a light gun game. I don't know if it was in the arcades or not. Someone's gonna have to comment on that and tell me. But you can use the NES Zapper with this game, but when I tried it, it didn't work very well. Not as well as it did with another game that I'll mention in part 2 of my NES collection. But if you use the controller with this game, it's still pretty awesome. It's got some decent graphics, I guess, and it's pretty funny at times when you shoot the what's it called, the nurses. You gotta see what I mean if you play the game. Yeah, also pretty good game. I got it for $6 the other day, so if you can pick it up for cheap, I definitely would. And next, this is a must-have for an NES collection. Punch Out. I got this game in the box. I got this game in the box. Yeah. It isn't Mike Tyson's Punch Out, which was the first version that was available on the NES, but it's definitely a good version of that game. The only difference is really that instead of having versing Mike Tyson at the end, you verse this guy named Mr. Dream, but it's all the same. It's an awesome game to pick up for the NES. Another one of the best ones out there. Pick it up if you like boxing games or fighting games or anything like that, or just your like NES games. because it's very nostalgic when you play it. Anyway, awesome game. Next. This game isn't so great. Rambo. Now, if you watch Angry Video Game Nerds videos, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say this game isn't so great. Well, it's not just, if you kind of think about it, it is pretty bad, but um, the controls on it are pretty good. The only really big complaint is that that I have is that the game is very confusing. You can get lost really easily in it if you don't know where you're going. Besides that, it's an okay game. Um, I don't know. You gotta kind of. I wouldn't suggest picking it up though. I don't know. Only pick it up if it's really cheap, I guess. Anyways, it's okay. Next. This is the only racing game I have for the NES. It's RC Pro M, which is another one of the first games that Rareware made. See, look down there. If you can't see that, then I'm sorry, but it says Rareware right here. Yeah, but it's a pretty awesome game. It takes a while to get used to when you're playing it, though. But besides that, it's a great game. There's a game similar to this game too, if you liked it. Like it's called Cobra Triangle, I think. You just drive your boats instead of cars. They're both awesome games though, from what I've heard, and they're definitely recommended to be picked up. Okay, so that's part one of my NES collection. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. If you did, thank you and goodbye.